Widdz here, and in today's video we're gonna check out what is probably gonna be the meta build for this season. It's a tank DPS build. So after making the first build with Catalyst and Backfire, I did say that I wanted to revisit it with the Umbra and Striker, but I have made a lot of videos after that. So since I personally myself don't like SMGs too much, it was something I just put away for later. But the recent days, more and more comments, especially on stream, have been talking about if I tried this type of build. So 2 days ago I did decide to check it out, and actually I was quite blown away by how good it was. So the gun that we are using is Backfire, which is an exotic SMG. Make sure you get the damage to target out of cover on the gun as usual. And if we take a look at the talent, it gives you 2 critical hit damage up to 100 stacks, which lasts 10 seconds. So 200 critical hit damage, and that's the reason why this one is so good, because with this patch we get higher crit chance, and with the links we can actually reach 100%, making this gun pretty much insane. The downside though is that you need to hit mobs every 10 seconds, because otherwise you will lose the buff. And also on reload you do apply a bleed for yourself, which deals armor damage. With this season, a lot of these stuff we can kind of work around. But yeah, that's the Backfire. And in case you wonder how to get it, I will just go into Countdown and farm for SMGs. And that should be a pretty easy way to get it. Second gun, which is Rock'n'Rolla AA12. Just get a gun for building the stacks, right? Because what we're going to be using is 4-piece Striker. So weapon handling, rate of fire on the 2 and 3 piece, really good. And then of course you get the stacks from hitting targets, which stacks up to 100%. You don't have to use the chest piece, but in group it can be pretty good because it's pretty easy to keep up. But the chest piece just makes you go up to 200 stacks, so a bit harder to keep up. But in group content, especially since we are running 6 blues, it's quite achievable. And then we are also using Memento Backpack. And yeah, usually when it comes to Striker builds, you do want to use the Striker backpack because it does give you a lot of damage. Personally, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of skipping Striker backpack, but for this build in particular, just having 6 blue cores, it will just make the bonus armor you pick up will be so effective, as you will see in the gameplay. On top of that, the 3% armor regen, I think it's around 50,000 armor regen per second, right? So it is a lot of benefits with that. And then of course the weapon damage, the instant buff, and also like getting the 30% weapon damage. So yeah, it kind of sucks giving up Striker backpack, but I mean, as you see, the Memento backpack is just so damn good for this. Lastly, we do use a Yawl piece for the 10% hazard, which we will go into soon. And then hazard protection rolled as well, and then the rest into critical hit damage. So we take a look at the hazard protection. I have 90%, as you can see right here. And with the modifiers, you will get 7.5 times 5, which is the stamp tears, which is max, which is 37.5 just for free because of the seasonal modifiers. Right now, as you can see, I'm tier 4. So that gives us 30%. So we will get 7.5% more, which will put us at 97.5, which in my opinion is more than enough for this. We will feel the bleed a minor second, and then it will be gone, especially the other times because of diminishing return. So literally just try to reach 90 hazard protection. If you really want to get rid of it, you can run 1 bleed res mod and you would reach 100%, but I think having 97.5 is more than enough. So take a quick look at the pieces if you want to see it, just to replicate the hazard. We have the pieces right here. Going hazard protection on literally every piece, except this one right here. 1 piece have critical hit damage, and then just mod critical hit damage. Since we do have Backfire, we have a high critical hit chance by default. But you can see actually I should be having 1 mod here with critical hit chance. I've been swapping the the chest and backpack recently, so that's why we're not maxed right there. I think we're like a few percentage off here. Now that should be good. And yeah, you can run a Yal chest piece with Obliterate, which especially for solo play, I would recommend it. In group, you can use the Striker chest piece, but honestly, it's up to you. But literally, this is what I've been running for the Obliterate piece. And if we do take a look at something that's quite important when it comes to this build, it is the global modifiers for this season, because they are really good for backfire in this build in particular, right? So firearms, you will gain extra critical hit chance, up to 10%, right? And when you use the link, we are using the assault link because we're full blue, right? You will get the extra weapon damage for every non-red core equipped, and also we'll put the critical hit chance at max, being 100 crit chance. So we use crit on everything. We do take a look at the passive modifiers, which are really good for this build, as I said. We do have loaded up, nothing really new there, right? It turns the crit chance into critical hit damage at tier 5. So basically when we link, also have this hazard protection, right? Which is really good, giving us 37.5% hazard for free. And then I like to use this one, because this will give you 50, a little bit less actually, with 1.8 mil, so around 45% headshot damage from this alone, especially with the SMGs. They don't have high headshot damage, right? 70, so getting a 45% increasement for free there, really good. So those are the ones I prefer to use. You could, however, also use this one, extra padding, gives you 5% protection from elite per blue core. So that would be 30% protection from elite. Good. Then I would most likely swap out the headshot damage one, right? So those are the options there. And yeah, I mean 6 blues and put the rest into hazard to reach 90%, which will be 97.5 when you have 5 stam, right? And the rest into critical hit damage after you hit the cap, being 60%. And that's kind of the build. Other than that, I do use Revive Hive, just the usual. And then the shield as well, because we are going to have a tier 6 shield, which is pretty strong. Thing is though, with this build, a lot of times you don't need to use the shield because your bonus armor is going to be completely crazy. So in terms of specialization, nothing newer. I do prefer Gunner for PvE. 10% armor on kill, faster reload, every third reload, right? And rate of fire increasement on kill. And make sure you get the SMG damage right there. But that's gonna be it for this build video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, just put them in the comment section below, or tune into my stream at twitch.tv/widdz and you can ask it straight away. I'm currently live on the last day with drops and last day on this subathon. With that said though, I will see you guys in the next YouTube video or live on twitch.tv/widdz.